just an introduction, like how to install the software. That's what we discussed, and what folders it creates after you install, and different versions of Tableau release dates is what we saw. And okay, I have to just give me a second. This app is new for me. The Windows app. Okay, mute yourself, please. All right. And yeah, we just saw how to create a small data in the notepad, and how do we connect is what we saw. So every day anyhow we will do that. So let's open Tableau desktop. And do you have any open questions before we start for today? All right, silence, I'll take it as no. And I'm trying to open Tableau desktop. So this is the icon. So I see some new people joined. So I'll share the recorded sessions. So just the installation part. And so once you see this icon, so you can double click that and it will open. Now today what do we learn here is few things. Let's take this to the notepad. Day2. um, this is the flash screen, and you can see here it is professional edition. So there were two types of editions in Tableau desktop. One is like personal edition and professional edition. But you will not find the personal edition nowadays, because in the initial days we had two editions, and the difference was you can only connect to Notepad and Excel if you are using personal editions. But currently it is only one edition, which is professional, and you can connect to so many data sources. So many data sources. That's the difference. Now Kate is saying registration. You must register to continue using this trial. Okay. Activate to activate the product with your key. Yesterday only we did, isn't it? So I'll just say register, because I don't have a key yet. So I will get a key in next few days, and like you, the process I showed you yesterday. And after I get the key, so I will activate that. So I'll use it for free for first 14 days. So I'll click on register, then give your valid email ID, or any email ID. That's still fine. Say register. It should not ask you the next day if you open, but in my computer there are so many versions, so that's why it is prompting you to enter or to register here. But on your computers it will never ask you, and it will just tell you that your license expires in next 12 days, 13 days, 10 days, like that. All right, then what do we try to do today is, let's try to connect to the same notepad which we used yesterday, and we'll try to understand some new terminologies. I'm copying and pasting the same notepad which contains just the three columns: your product, sales, and profits. So let's connect to this file from Tableau, and then we'll try to understand few terminologies, because terminologies are important in BI. The reason is, any BI tool you will find same terminologies. Okay, so how do I connect? Now the left hand side, this is a first screen, so this is a text file, so I click on text file, and you have to give the path. Where is that folder available? So it is available in, so it's available in this folder. So just select that file and say open. Okay, so what do we see here? I connected to only that file, but it will pull all text files related information here, so that is still okay. And you will also find this section that it is reading this file now, and it has given you the columns what you have in that file. Okay, so till here just keep that point. Then how to go to the next screen? Just click on sheet 1. It takes you to the next screen, and this is where you will be working on. So just hide this. So what is the right side part which you are trying to see here is, these are the default charts available in Tableau. So there are like 24 default charts available. So just click on it, so it will minimize that. Okay, so that's gone. Now what is important for us here? So this is the name of the file I connected. Now keep an eye on the symbol here. So it is trying to show you with one database icon similar to that, isn't it? So this icon tells you what is the type of connection you are using in Tableau. Okay, meaning now we have to understand. So we have to understand here, what are the connection types in Tableau? This is the interview question, commonly asked question. So the answer for this is, so there are two types of connections. So what are they? One is the live connection, and the second is the extract connection. Extract connection. And another interview question commonly asked here, what is the default connection type? Okay, did I specify anywhere live or extract? I did not specify anywhere. But what is the default connection type is the live connection. Okay, where do I see that? Where do I see this information? So go back to the previous screen. So come to the left side corner, just click on the data source tab. Then if you observe here, so if you observe here, look at my mouse, connections, live connection and extract connection. So there is a difference between these two, and we have to understand when to use which connection types. Okay, but the default, it is live. All right, we'll come to this very soon, but just understand, for live connection it is a default, and the symbol for live connection is the database icon. All right, and this is the name of your file which I connected. Okay, now let's come here to the columns what we are talking about. How many columns I have in Tableau? Oh, sorry, I have in my notepad. So product, sales, and profits. Just three columns I have. But if you see here, there are so many things coming here. So this is a column, product. You can see that here. And sales, you can see that here. Profits, and this is a profits. Do you find any extra fields coming in Tableau? Yes, there are some extra fields available. So keep an eye on the extra fields. It is measure names, measure values, and the name of the file. So what is that file? And in brackets, it shows count. Okay, what does that mean? So this is a field which tells you how many records you have in that file. So how many records I have? 1, 2, 3 records. So if you drag and drop this anywhere, it will give you the number as 3. So just watch it, but you don't know what are these columns at all. But if you want to just test it, so just put that here, then it should tell you that you have got three records in your file. That's what it is trying to tell you. Now, the first thing what is important for us is, do you find any default fields in Tableau? All right, other than your your columns which you have in your files, do you find the default fields? So interview question, what are the default fields you see when you connect to any data source? This is any data source, and you will find some more fields. So I'll show you very soon. But what are the default fields? Just list it out. One is measure names. Okay, one is measure names. We don't know what they are, but just list it out. And then I'll take here measure values. And the third one which you are seeing is the name of the file, or I'll say file name, and in brackets it says count. In old versions of Tableau, so this is little different. In old versions of Tableau, it is shown as number of records. I'll show you in old versions because I have got many versions installed. So the naming convention is different. In old version, it is number of records. So these are the three extra fields which you will see when you connect to any data source here. Okay, that's the point. Then now if you carefully observe the data source here, now this product is going into like the first half, and the sales and profits are coming in the second half, isn't it? So what does that mean? So here Tableau is reading each column. It takes each column and it will read each column, and it will divide it into two categories. Okay, what are those? So one is a dimension, one is a measure. So one is a dimension, one is a measure. Okay, what is that dimension? What is that measure? It's very simple. So what is a dimension means, the fields are your columns, which explains about your business. So you can take any column and which talks about your business. That field we call it as a dimension here. It's very, very important even for databases as well. So we use the same terminology. Dimension tables, fact tables, measure tables, master tables. So the terminology is same. Okay. And what is the second category here is measure. So what is a measure is fields or columns which explains about, which measures your business, which measures your business. Let's go to the notepad and let's see what are those. Now if I talk about here the product, that means this is a textual information, like I'm selling laptops, I'm selling mobiles, I'm selling televisions. So this is a column which tells about what business are you doing. So I'm selling the products. Okay, the products is your business. But if you take here sales or profits, it is going to tell you the fields, the columns, they will tell you how much business did you make. So the question is how much, and here it will be what products, and here how much sales, how much profits. So question each column. So Tableau will do that, and it will segregate your table information into two things here. Now it reads each column. Is it measuring the business, like how much sales I got, how much profits I got? Then put them under measures category. So this half is called as a measures category. And the first half you can see this is a dimension related area, and that's simple. So which talks about your business is a dimension field, which measure your business is a field which goes into the measures category. Now, if I open this Excel here, if I open this Excel, now you can easily identify that these columns where it should go. So maybe if I talk about order ID, okay, what is my order ID? Then that is a business, it goes to dimension. When did I got the order? That's a dimension. When did I ship the product? Dimension. And how did I ship that? Ship mode. And who is that customer? And what is the customer name? What is the customer ID? So you can now analyze things like this. So this field goes into dimension. This, which country? Okay, dimension. Now if you scroll to the end, so if you scroll to the end, now it is something like, okay, how much sales did I get? How much quantity did I sold? How much discount I got? How much profit I made? So these columns, so these are talking about how much, how much. And the rest of the columns, they are talking about what is there, where it is, when it is. So that is the difference between the dimensions and between the measures. But this is just the basic understanding, but we have to go little more further to understand dimensions and measures. Okay, but for now, so simple technique. So anything related to how much or anything related to numbers, it will go under measures, and other than that, it will be treated as dimensions. Okay, that's the basic point here. So let's connect to this file now. Parallelly, I want to connect second file also. Okay, can I connect multiple files at the same time? There is no problem. You can connect it. So how do I connect? It's very simple. You don't have to go back again. You can see the plus icon here. That's the new data source. So you can click on that plus icon. So this is the icon. I want to connect to Excel file. So click on Excel and figure out where is that Excel file. So I'll use here, go to data source, and I can find that file, say open. So remember, I can connect to multiple data sources at the same time. Yes, it is possible. Okay, so here you have got multiple sheets in your Excel file. So yesterday we also talked about this. So one Excel has multiple sheets. So each sheet is considered as a table here. Now, previously in Notepad there was only one file, but now Tableau says you have got three sheets in that Excel. Which sheet you want to analyze? That's why it is telling you drag tables here. Okay, just drag one table, drop it. Now you can see that orders table is pulled, and you can see the default connection is live. I can see some information about those columns. Now go to the sheet, click on sheet, then it takes you to this second screen. Now how to swap between these two things? Just click on that, click on this. So if you click on the data source, it shows what columns you have. So click on it, it shows what columns you have. And I want to check the default fields. Yeah, measure names available, measure values available, and what is the table now which you pulled? It is orders table, and it brackets it's showing count. Now can I just test it? I want to just drag and drop it. So I want to put anywhere. You can put it anywhere, but currently just put it in text so that it shows the number here. So this file contains, or this table contains 10,194 records. That is what it is trying to tell you. Okay. Now look at the fields, how it's segregated. So these are all under dimensions. Now if you scroll down, see the last one will be measure names. So after that, you can see a thin line here. You can see a thin line after measure names, and then the remaining fields are coming here. So the fields which are the numbers, So most of the times it is numbers. I don't say 100% numbers comes here. No, it is only 99%. I'll tell you where is that 1%. Now, the numbers like how much discount, how much profit, how much quantity, sales, and also this time you are seeing some additional fields, latitudes, longitudes. So we'll talk about that in the measures section. Now, do I see anywhere dimension and measures? Yes, you can see that. See, hold your mouse, and if you just try to move any field here or there. See, now I'm not moving it, I'm just trying to move. You can see the terms, you can see the terms dimensions in the above section, and in the below it is trying to tell you these are the measures. Okay, but in from 2020 version onwards, 2019 version onwards, they have removed these dimensions and measures from this view. That means the label they have removed it, and they are trying to show as just a tables here. But let me just quickly open little old version. Now let's open. Where is this Tableau? Okay, Tableau desktop. Do I have? Where is that applications? Downloads shortcuts. Okay, where did I keep all the shortcuts? Maybe I kept it somewhere. That, Alright, I just cleaned up the files. Archive, maybe here. No, it doesn't have. Tem files, maybe apps. Okay, even here it doesn't have. Okay, fine. I'll just have to go back and where did I place all the exe files for different shortcuts available. Say Tableau, and now I need little old version. Tableau 2018. Okay, I have 2018 here, so I'll just open that. 2019 also fine. All right, while it opens, let's see the other things. So that's the dimension and that's the measure. But the difference is from 2020 version, you will find here the label as tables, but in old versions, you will find it as dimension here, and here it shows as measures. So that's the difference. And this is not complete definition. This is just for today to get started. All right, but still we have to see like what all you can do with these dimensions here and measures as well. Now look at few things here. I'll click on products table or products data source. You are trying to see some symbols to the left of each field, isn't it? There are some symbols here. So what is that symbol trying to tell? Okay, so those symbols are trying to tell you what type of data this field is holding. What type of data? That means we have to understand now how many types of data you have. Now looking at this here, I can clearly say, I can see that there is a textual data, there is a numerical data, isn't it? This is numbers, this is text. Okay, other than these two things, we have got some more data types. So let's put it that here. So what are the different types of data you have here in Tableau? So anywhere if you see a table or anywhere if you search in the internet, if you browse any websites, Amazon, Flipkart, you will find some different data types there. So the commonly found are the numbers, and so some numbers will be whole numbers. That means there are no decimals, and you can find some numbers where you can find the decimals as well. So when you go anywhere where if you want to weight something, so that comes in decimals, isn't it? 3.145. That's the decimal. And then we are trying to see the textual information, but we don't say that as a textual information. So we always call it as strings. So string is nothing but the group of characters. So characters means it can be from capital A to capital Z, small a to small z, and even 0 to 9 is also the characters, and all special characters. Everything comes under the strings, right? So we know those things. Then other than these things, so do you observe somewhere like when did you order the product? That means the date. Yes, you will find the date related information, and sometimes date and time related information as well. When you do any ATM transaction, it shows date and time, isn't it? Then apart from this, you also have one more data type, which is Boolean, which tells you true or false. It tells you true or false. True is 1, false is 0. So numbers. So computer understands zeros and ones much faster. So these are the different data types which you can find. And along with this, so Tableau says there's one more where you can try geographical fields or geographical information. Means if I want to show something on a map, then you can definitely show that on the map. So Tableau will allow you to show that information on the map as well. So you have got the default maps, you have got the third party maps, you can integrate them and get them into Tableau. But remember, these are the data types available in Tableau. Can I see them anywhere? Yes, you can see them everywhere. And the symbols, what it shows here. So for numbers, it will try to show you like A, B, C. Sorry, numbers is denoted with hash. Whether it is a whole number or a decimal number, so Tableau is going to display with this particular symbol. So that's why you are seeing here hash. Okay, and you are seeing ABC, that means it is a string. So whenever Tableau shows it is ABC means you have got some text information in that field. And how does the date is displayed? So date is displayed with calendar icon. I'll show you that. So if you go to the above data set, now you can see here the calendar symbol which is shown for the date. Okay, and for date and time, so if you have time related information, calendar plus clock icon. So it will show you both of them. So if you want to see that, so just click on it and you can see date and time. See what I wrote there, it is displayed here. So number decimal, number whole, date and time, date, string, boolean. Now I'm just changing this to date and time just to show you that symbol. So it shows calendar plus clock symbol. And boolean values, it will be shown as true or false. So this is the symbol. This is the symbol here. So I'll quickly change it, but you don't change it because you should not do it. But just to show you the symbol, so I'm changing the data types here, right? True or false. This is the symbol. So I'll change it back to original. So just change it back to the date here. Okay. So these are the data types which are available in Tableau. And I said there is one more which is geographical field. So this will be denoted, this will be shown with a globe symbol. This will be shown with a globe symbol. So if you carefully scroll down, so if you see city, it's a globe. Country, it's the globe. Postal code, yes, that's the globe. And the state, yeah, it is trying to show you as the globe symbol. That means something I can show on the map. That is what Tableau is telling. But for any field it doesn't show here, you have got some conditions when Tableau will show this symbol. So that conditions have to be met. So we'll talk about this when we discuss the geographical analysis concept. But for now, these are the data types available in Tableau. All right. So I'll take a quick pause here to see if you have any questions so far. Okay. No questions means we can proceed. Now I'll go back to the first the first data source, which is products. So before I start working with this screen, so let's try to understand different things here. So you can see these are all the menus, so no need to tell about that. And you are able to see some icons here, so different icons. So I will use them whenever I wanted to show something based on the topic which we are discussing, but we'll not go each one now, that's not a good practice. So I'll use them whenever the right time comes, but today we have used only one which is connecting to the new data source. I've used this option. And of course, this is a save icon. If you want to save your work in Tableau, so this is what you have to use. And then it will prompt you with this, how you want to save this. Now, coming to the main section of Tableau, this is the area which you will be working on next 2 months. See, there is nothing to work here for 2 months, isn't it? But I'll show you the in-depth post-mortem of all the options available, how you can use it, how you can use it for different scenarios. So we will be understanding that, right? But it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Just drag and drop. Tableau is all about drag and drop. Okay. Now the sections which we will start here is, so you can see here, this is a rows, this is columns. So these are called as shelves in Tableau. So if you have a, a birwa, a almara in your house, you say that shelf 1 is mine, shelf 2 is yours. So we will say like that, isn't it? Exactly the same way. So Tableau has got 4 shelves. Row shelf, so that means this part, column shelf, pages shelf, filters shelf. Okay, you have got 4 shelves in Tableau: row shelf, column shelf, pages shelf, and filters shelf. We don't call this as a shelf, instead we call it as a marks card. C-A-R-D. It's just a card. So we call this as a marks card. So this is a key thing in Tableau. It looks very simple, but yeah, you have to drag and drop correctly to these options to see different outputs here. So with slow practice, so you will be becoming good using these options. So for now, the shelves in Tableau: row shelf, column shelf, pages shelf, filters shelf, and this is called as marks card. This contains the different types of charts which you can build. So by default it is set to automatic, but you can build bar chart, line chart, area chart, and these are the symbols, square shapes, and I want to show in the text format. I want to show on the map, build a pie chart, build a Gantt bar, polygon chart, density chart. So different types of charts which you can select, which you can build, but this will be changing automatically the moment you drag and drop into these shells. Okay, we'll see more about this. And these options, very simple options to change the color, size, text, and the details of your reports. And I want to show something on the tooltips. Yes, these are your options. So this we call it as a marks card. Very simple. Then this is a sheet title. I mean, what report are you trying to build? So just double click and enter your report here. So maybe I can say here, this is my first report in Tableau, but in reality, it will not be this case. Just select it, make it bold, apply. Okay, so that comes here. And also you can see here it is saying drop fields, drop fields, drop fields. That means you can take these fields, you can put here or here or here or here or in any of these, or even here, here or here. So wherever you put, then it will accept, but the place where you drop it, so that's how it shows in a different manner. So I want to drag and drop the first thing here on the screen. Now let's see. I wanted to I wanted to drag I wanted to drag my sales into the row shelf here. So I want to drag which field? Sales field. Now take this sales field and I want to put it maybe in the text field first. Then I'll come to these two. I want to put it in the text. Okay, you release it, and what it is trying to show you, 8,000. Carefully observe. First report, I dragged this column sales and it is giving me 8 lakhs. How did you get 8 lakhs? So these are my individual values, isn't it? So this sales column contained, so what values? So 2 lakhs, then 5 lakhs, and then 1 lakh. But what is the final output it is trying to show? Just 8 lakhs. What Tableau did here? So this is a first very important point. So Tableau is trying to group the values, that means group these values into a single value. So it is of course applying the sum here. That means I'm trying to add these values and the result here is 8 lakhs. But the concept here is, so concept here is aggregation. So let's put that point here. So what is aggregation here? So this is the same in any BI tool. You will find the same concept called as aggregation. Aggregation means grouping the values into a single value. So how you can group into a single value? There are so many ways. Now, if you say here, I am trying to take the sum. I got 3 values, but sum means it will give me just one value. And I can say what is the minimum value here. Again, you have 3 values or 5 values, 10 values. If I say what is the minimum, then it will show only one. Maximum also give me only one value. And even if I say average, if I say average, that means you are trying to add these by divided by 3, then you will get a single value again. So that is also aggregation. And if I say count, so how many values you have? So 1, 2, and 3. So the result comes as just 3. That is also called as aggregation. And you also have another one, count distinct. That means ignore the duplicate values. So we'll talk about this. Even here, you will get a single value. So if you now carefully understand, aggregation means grouping the values into a single value. That is called as aggregation. And very, very important compulsory question. So what is a default aggregation in Tableau? Out of all these functions, out of all these aggregations, now Tableau says I am going to apply sum. I am going to apply sum on that column. So this is the default aggregation. Okay, and now can you change the default aggregation? Another commonly asked question: can we change the default aggregation in Tableau? Can you change it? Yes, we can change it. So how to change it? I'll show you very soon. But the answer for this is, so just right click on the field and go to default properties, and then you can go to aggregation and then select required aggregation. I'll show you this, don't worry, because we have to apply default aggregation other than sum to some fields, so that I'll apply it for one field one time, then it will remember that, and whenever I drag and drop, so it shows the default aggregation. Right. So today we understood like what is the default aggregation, what is the aggregation. Right? This is sum. Now how to remove this? How to remove this field? You can do it in two ways. Click on the drop down. There is an option called as remove. Okay, this is a lengthy option. Now the easiest way is just drag and drop somewhere here. That's gone. So if you want to do it again, just go back, and so you can just hold your mouse and just release it in this empty area or here, then that will be gone. Now take another column, another measure. Now this time I want to put in the row shelf. Okay, so this time it is trying to show you in a bar chart, because that's how it is designed. So it will try to show you in the horizontal bars or in the vertical bars. Now what is this, a number? Can I see that number? Because I don't know how much it is. Now here you can see one option is there, which is called as label. Show marks label. Just turn on the label, then you will get that option. So you can click on here, turn on or off. It's a toggle button. Or you can also see here there is a label. Click on that label. Some new window comes up. Now enable that option. You can see this coming up here. So you can turn on or off from here as well. Okay, and I don't want to put in row shelf, I want to put it in column shelf. Just you can move it, just move it. Now it shows the bar in this way, because you can see the symbols here. I am trying to place it in columns, it is trying to show horizontal bar. If you try to place it in rows, it is a vertical bar. Okay, so you can place it anywhere. And if I don't want this, then click on this, can say remove, or just drag and drop it here, then it's gone. Now can we try these things here? Can we try product and sales? Now what is that we have in our data source? I have got three products and sales and profits. So let's build our first report. Take your product, you can put it in row shelf or column shelf. There is no rule that you have to place it here only. Now you can place anywhere. So I'll drop it in the row shelf. Now you can see that what all the products I had, it is listing here. So whatever you have in the notepad, so that is what it is trying to show. Okay, the three products what you have. And now let's drag sales, and where you want to place now, I want to place in the column shelf. Okay, now you can see it has applied the default aggregation to the numbers. So wherever it is a measure, then it applies the default aggregation. But for dimensions, there is no need for aggregation. So it shows as it is product, product. But for measures, it will say here sum before it. Now, can I show it in complete screen because this place is wasted? Now come to this option here. There is a drop down which is by default set to standard. Now you can select here, say entire view. And if you want to arrange them in ascending descending order, then you can choose these options here. So ascending descending, so just swap it. All right, now this is your first report in Tableau, products and sales. So how many products? 3. And what are the sales information? Yes, this is the sales information. And I want to go to sheet 2 now. So click on the new worksheet. So this icon here, or you can go to worksheet option and you can say new worksheet. In the second sheet, I want to build product wise profits. So I want to build here product wise profits. Okay. Now carefully observe what we have to drag, what we have to drop. Product is a dimension, profit is a measure. So I need only these two fields. Okay. So you can pick profits first, you can pick products first. That doesn't matter. So now I'll put product in the columns. Now it shows like this. And I want to put profits in the rows. Now it shows in the vertical bar. So the difference is here it is horizontal and here it is vertical. Now I want to increase this width. So you can just increase this. Hold your mouse. You can do like this. Arrange them in an order. So ascending or descending. Without numbers, it is not very meaningful. Turn on the numbers. Now, okay, that's the values. What is this information? Profits. What is the first report we built? So this is the product wise sales. This is our first report. Only difference is the view is horizontal and here it is vertical. That's it. So drag and drop it. That's all you have to do it. So it's that simple. All right. Now I built this report. I want to save this report because without saving, what should we do? So now let's save it. Click on save icon. Now see where it is trying to save. It's going to documents folder, my Tableau repository folder, and then it goes to workbooks. This is a default place where it saves. Now one important interview question: how many ways you can save your workbook? Now you can see there are two options here: TWB, TWBX formats. TWB means Tableau workbook, like your Excel workbook, and second is Tableau packaged workbook. Okay, these are the two types here. So let's quickly put that here. What are the different ways to save your workbook? Compulsory question. So let's just fill out this. So two ways. One is TWB, full form Tableau workbook, and second TWBX formats. It is Tableau packaged workbook. There's a compulsory question like what is the difference between these two ways? This is a compulsory question in the interview. All right, so I'll show you this answer in the next session because you have to know the difference. Without that, it doesn't make sense just selecting this without knowing what is it. I'll save it in our folder. I don't want the default path, so I will go to default path for our things. And what is today's date? I'll save it as day2.twb. And after it is saved, so wait for some seconds, the menus will get enabled. And again, let's say save as, then change it to this. I want to save in both formats. Only then you can understand the difference. Alright, so click on saved. So my workbook is saved. Can I have a quick look at it? TWB and TWBX formats. So tomorrow's first question for us to discuss is, what is the difference between these two? Do I have any difference? Yes, of course there are some differences. Okay, now this is my first report ready, and I built two sheets here. And if you want to build now next report, then click on sheet 3 and you can drag and drop things, and you can build your reports. Okay, now maybe I want to build something like this. Product wise, can you show me sales and profits together? Okay, why not? We can always do that. Now let's take your product. Now where you want to place, so it's your choice. So I'll place it here, but remember few points here which I'll show you now. Now I want to drag two fields now. Okay, no problem. You can just put that sales here and bring your profits and place it here. So you can bring in multiple fields, that is fine. There's no problem. And there's a lot of space here. Now I don't want to waste this space. So I'll say here entire view. And can we sort it in ascending, descending? Of course we can do that. Then turn on the labels. I can do that. Then can I show it in colors? Yes, of course we can show that in colors. Now just observe how to make this colorful. Then take your product. I want to show each product in different color. Then take your dimension, put it in the colors section. So it will try to show you in different colors. So if you don't like any color, you can always change it. But colors also comes from the customers, the clients. They'll give you the colors, so you have to select only those colors. Maybe customized colors sometimes, or sometimes the inbuilt colors. That is also fine. Now here what you built, now product wise, sales and profits. Now just one more option I wanted to show. Can you swap the report? Meaning I want to place this product in the column shelf and these two things in the row shelf. Manually I can do it. So take this, place it here. Now bring that here, bring this here. I can do this. No, I don't want to do that manually. Is there any shortcut available? Now you can see there is a button here, swap rows and columns. Means whatever you have in row shelf, it goes to columns. Whatever you have in columns, it comes to rows. So just click on it. That's how it just flips between the row shelves and column shelves. And you can also try here. So if you swap it, goes like that. If you click that, it comes back to the original. Now it is horizontal. Now it becomes vertical. Now horizontal is fine. So the other option is swapping the rows. So this is swapping, this is sorting, then this is the labels, and this option entire view is to fit the empty space which I have here. And one more option you can try. This is a full screen mode. So click on it. So this is a final report, how the customer will look at it. I mean, this is a view for a customer. Customer doesn't see Tableau. He will only see what is the final report I am going to see. This is the customer view. You are a developer, so you will see all these options. But for a customer, he will only see this screen, only see this part. So if you click on full screen, now this is what they will see. How to come out of the full screen? The right side corner, you can see exit presentation, or just hit escape button. Then it takes you back to the original screen. Okay, so that's some basic reports which we built, and some observations for you. Dimensions, if you see the left side, the icons, it is in blue, and also in the reports it is blue. So dimensions are blue in color and measures are in green color, isn't it? So points to make a note. Dimensions are blue and measures are green. For dimensions, no aggregations are applied. Yes, why do we want aggregation? No need. And for measures, the default aggregation applied by Tableau is sum. Not only Tableau, even Power BI also uses sum itself. Okay, that's just the observations. And the marks cards, yes, we are using it for coloring purpose to show in different sizes labels. And okay, we just used few options here, and turning on or off the labels. So I can turn it on here, turn it off, or I can just use these options here. Okay, so this is the start for building